Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, like, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucimus Prime here, so it's time for another action figure unboxing and review today. And in today's video, it's going to be for a sci-fi franchise character. This is my favourite character from this franchise. It's also a franchise that I got into last year, at the time of this recording. And this is a character who's part of a species known as Vulcan. And this character, of course, who I'm going to be unboxing a figure of, is none other than Mr. Spock, as he appears based on the film Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. So, figures in there, and it's made by the company MEGO, or pronounced MEGO, according to his description down here. That's the designer called Marty Abrams. That's the designer of it. So this is definitely, you know, something I wanted to get because Mr. Spock, as I just said, is my favourite character in my franchise. And the figure appears to come with a phaser gun, but it looks like I'll probably have to, of course, put the gun in his left hand because obviously his right hand is doing, of course, the Vulcan salute like this. So, yeah, I'll definitely keep it like this when it comes to pausing because I think that the Vulcan salute, of course, makes Spock a very recognisable character. It says here this figure is 8 inches as well, and it's got 14 points of articulation, which is pretty cool. On the back here as well, got this pretty nice shot here. Of course, there's Khan himself and the other characters as well. I think it's a character you can get figures of. I've already got a figure of Admiral Kirk as well from the same film as well, and maybe by the same company, so that's going to be a future unboxing. When it comes, of course, to my love for Mr. Spock, though, so, of course, last year at the time of recording, I, of course, binge-watched the Star Trek films, and it's definitely one of my favourite franchises of all time, and Spock is most definitely my favourite character in the franchise because he's a very likeable, interesting, and mysterious character, and I definitely really adored Leonard Nimoy's portrayal of him, and may Leonard Nimoy rest in peace. I definitely think Spock is easily his best role of all time, and I think he did a phenomenal job playing Spock in the films, and he was definitely, in my opinion, an absolute joy to watch, and in my opinion, nobody can embody the role of Mr. Spock better than Leonard Nimoy. To me, he is Mr. Spock, as far as I'm concerned, and I think it's pretty poetic how his career, of course, you know, kicked off with Spock in the original TV show of Star Trek, and of course his career of course ended when it comes to films with, of course, his cameo appearance as Spock in the film Star Trek Into Darkness. Sadly, that was his final film because 2 years later he passed away. So rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. May you live long and prosper. You'll always be Mr. Spock as far as I'm concerned, and to me, no one can play that role better than you. You are Spock, Leonard Nimoy. So, now let's get the figure open, shall we? Hopefully it should be easy to take out because it's like in a plastic case here, and hopefully it can be teared off this cardboard, so let's be careful doing that. There we go. Okay. So if I take off this, and here's the figure rather, that was definitely really easy to take out, I must say. So, in terms of portability, the arms are pretty loose, I must say, when it comes to portability, when it comes to folding the elbow, which is nice, and the right hand as well is portable too, but I think for the sake of course, doing the salutes, I'll keep it like this, of course, so we're doing a Vulcan salute, and the head is also as well portable too. It's not on a ball joint, I think it's on a dial, basically, so, yeah, that explains why it can only spin around, really, but that's fine for me. Got a left hand here as well. Elbow is just as portable as the right one, and it can't really go 360 degrees when it comes to turning because the clothing is restrictive, because the character's figure's actually wearing like proper clothes, which is pretty cool. Not like plastic clothes or anything like that. These like actual little clothes like a doll to wear, so legs can also all move forward. So yeah, the limbs are really well portable, I must say, really, but the only thing which restricts them is the clothing, of course, really. And that's about it, really. And the phaser is here as well. You can like put it inside this holster here, which is pretty cool. It's got like some like, you know, like rope holding it in place, so if you want to keep it there you can do, but I'm probably going to take off and put it in Spock's hand, you know, for display. But yeah, it's definitely a great figure nonetheless, and I'm happy to have a figure of Mr. Spock in my collection, absolutely, because like I said, he always will be my favourite Star Trek character of all time. So This week I'll do my unboxing of my figure of Mr. Spock, based on how he appears in the film Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to let in the comments what you guys think of this figure of Mr. Spock. If you have it, let me know in the comments below. If you're not getting a figure of Mr. Spock, I'd recommend it if you like Spock or Star Trek. Definitely a must-have figure in my opinion. Also, be sure to join Team Plan by pressing subscribe. You'll come in the future, and live long and prosper.